Madam Chair, you have a quorum at this point.
Okay, so then I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Peralta Bond Measure Oversight Committee. And this is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Sure. Jeff Canberra,
Present.
Marcus Crawley,
Here.
Stacy Thompson,
Here.
Andrea Dawson,
Here.
Benjamin Scott is not here, and Youssef Herbert is not here. Madam Chair, you do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to move right to the first item, which is to approve the meeting agenda. Any comments on this?
No.
I have. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so let's,
Stacy.
What is it? What about
So-
Stacy?
would you like to move for approval?
Yes, so moved.
Okay, I will second. So roll call.
Jeff Canberra,
Aye.
Stacy Thompson,
Aye. Yes.
Marcus Crawley,
Yes.
Andrea Dawson,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, next item is the approval of the minutes of the October 12th, 2022 meeting. Any
Yeah.
comments?
Yes. Can we do a share screen on that?
I can, let's see, here they are. Let's see, how do I share my screen with these? You can all see them, right?
Not quite yet.
yet.
So
Oh.
if you open the document in a different window, then at the bottom of Zoom, you click the green button to share screen.
Okay, so see, I don't ever do this, but can someone else do it? Does someone else know how to do that? Because they're posted in the chat.
Let's see.
So let's
And the
see.
reason I'm not doing it is I need to take off in about 5 minutes here.
Yeah,
Hang on, let me give it a try. Just a second.
yeah, thanks.
I'm not any better off than you are, but let's see.
See, they're
Okay, they're there.
posted
October
in the,
12th, share
Yeah.
screen,
oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so,
and like magic. Can anybody see them?
I see it. It's
Yes.
there.
I
Wow.
do too. Thank
I'm in-
you.
Is it big enough?
Well, wait, this is, wait, I see, yeah. Yeah, here that I see them. Yeah, okay. So does
So-
anyone have comments on this
Yeah.
or,
I do for the website subcommittee that was suggested the website subcommittee meet and Mark Johnson. So I believe that Jeff had volunteered to be on that committee along with myself and Marcus, but I don't see that on here. That would be 8D, I guess.
okay, so, I agree, I remember that, so we could make that correction, and with that correction, carry them to the next meeting, I guess, for approval.
Sure. And I just have
I think you can approve it as amended. I mean, you can say,
That's
Yeah,
great, okay,
absolutely.
let's,
I also have a concern that Mark is leaving and he was going to do the presentation for the website committee.
that's right.
Marcus has his hand up.
okay, so, Marcus,
Yes. I have a comment on last meeting, we talked about I believe last meeting, we talked about the Bond Oversight Committee, CBOC, as opposed to the acronym BMOC. And I was wondering when we can actually carry that through with the minutes. So that the minutes show that it's a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, not a Bond Members Oversight Committee. So in other words, each of the references, especially starting with the logo at the top, would say CBOC.
So that's actually part of the bylaws for this committee that are set by the Board of Trustees.
And I remember that. So I think if that would have to be a proposal from us to amend it, correct? That would have to go to the board.
It
of
would have to go to
trustees.
the Board of Trustees in order to change the formal name for this committee.
So
So what do you need, a motion? What do you need for that to happen?
Well,
go
I think
ahead,
that needs
Mark.
to be agendized for another meeting. That isn't
Agree.
within our purview, I believe, at least not for tonight.
I agree. So we will propose that under new business to be agendized for a follow-on meeting.
Thank you. That's all I have to say about it, about the
Okay.
minutes.
All right. So I'm going to move on to item 4,
Oh,
which is,
do we accept the minutes?
The minutes as
oh, I'm
amended.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. I propose we accept the minutes as amended. Do I have a
Second.
second? Thank you, Jeff. Roll call.
Jeff Canberra,
Aye.
Stacy Thompson,
Aye.
Andrew Dawson,
Yes.
Marcus Crawley.
Yes,
Motion carries.
Okay, so before I go on to the next item, I'm going to ask you, so since Mark Johnson and Etheria are both leaving momentarily, is Mo Lim a Peralta employee? Is she outside? She is.
Yes.
So she's still on this meeting? I don't see her anymore.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great. Oh, I know why I didn't click my button to, anyway, I'm glad you're here because I think technically we probably shouldn't continue the meeting to adopt, to potentially look at the CBOC annual report without a staff here. Okay, so I think that solves that issue. So I'd like to ask for public comment on non-agenda items. Are there any public that wish to comment? Hearing none, I will move on to item 5. Okay, which is the 2021 annual report update. So the annual report is also in the chat and it can be pulled up. And I believe that what I'm hearing is that I can see it, but I don't know how to split this on my screen. So can you pull it up?
Would you
Jeff?
like me to pull it up?
I would, please.
So at least I got the technology mastered for the moment.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what I am understanding is that everyone on this, Marcus and Stacy and Jeff and myself, I have had an opportunity to review this. Others, have you reviewed and have comments or corrections?
So I had mentioned my thoughts as did Jeff when we looked at it earlier. So hopefully
Can
those
we
are just.
scroll down and see if those have been incorporated?
They were not. This
Okay.
this is the version that was sent out before everybody made comments.
Okay, so the comments, is there a version of the changes?
Andrea, why don't you just read the changes that we suggested to you in the email that we sent you?
I
Jeff
know,
and
I'm
I.
going to, just let me bring it up on my phone, okay? There you go.
Okay.
All right. So, just 1 second. I lost it. Why isn't it coming up? I should have printed them, but I've been swamped at work, just like over craziness. So here it is. Okay. So the comments were, I have to go back into the. Can you scroll down, Jeff? So, all right, to the letter. The first one is the letter. And in the first paragraph of the message from committee chair, the 2020 and 2022 years should be corrected to be 2021. That would be a correction.
Okay.
An error. Okay. The next item would be in the last paragraph. Oh, stay on the letter, please. Okay. The last would be in the final statement, the Peralta CCD, Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, remains committed to fulfilling our role of reporting to the community and the taxpayers on the activities of the Measure A and G bond program. Now, I know, Jeff, you wanted to put that a little bit differently, as I recall. You're on mute, Jeff.
Sorry, I can't share screen and unmute at the same time.
Yeah. Oh.
No,
Okay.
I just that's a competence issue,
Good
not a
joke.
technological issue.
Oh.
User error, in other words.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying,
Anyway,
I think,
yeah, when we talked about taxpaying, I think I suggested we might add that it's from residents in the district as opposed to taxpayers generally, since it's people within the district that are actually paying it.
yeah, which I think I agree that is a good way to amend this. So if there's not any objections to that, I recommend that we amend it to that.
None.
Okay, hearing no objections, then if we scroll down to our group as the list of BMOC membership. Stacy Thompson, it should read Dr. Stacy Thompson, and it also should show her as the vice chair of the committee.
Correct.
Yeah. And that is all that the edits that we as a committee put forward and agreed to. So if there's any other comments on this, Marcus, that would be you. I guess you're the fourth
Yes,
one here. Yes.
I think that the word taxpayers organization is supposed to be plural possessive. So I should have an apostrophe after the S.
Okay, you're that. Yes, I agree. I'm writing these down so we can make that edit too. And seeing, we can only really, just as a point of clarification, we can't make any other major changes.
Please stop scrolling. Please stop scrolling. You're making me dizzy.
And go ahead and approve this evening. And the goal, in my mind, is to move this forward and present it to the trustees in December. And so I think that if there are no other changes, minor changes or objections to this, I'd like to vote to on approving this as amended and recommendation that we put it forward for agendizing for the trustees meeting in December. Do I
So
have a
moved.
second? Thank you. That's a second. So Jeff
Oh.
is you are also
No,
voting yes?
I wasn't sure if that was a motion, if you were making the motion or Stacy was making the motion. So I was going to be
Okay.
second.
You can be second. Okay. Stacy made the motion, Jeff seconds. And the roll call would be Marcus Crowley,
Yes.
Jeff Gambray,
Yes.
Dr. Stacy Thompson,
Yes.
and Andrea Dawson is also a yes. So, yay!
Hey.
Thank you. So, any public comment? Is there any public momolim on this call or Etheria? I can't see them, so hearing none, we will move on. Now, the next item is the website subcommittee report, and Marcus, I think you can say something, speak to this without, and just share why we will not be actually going through this report this evening, okay?
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, we did get together and have a subcommittee meeting. Upon my suggestion, we looked at the West Contra Costa USD website, and I suggested this would be a good place to start. In particular, I liked the menu tabs at the top, and Mark Johnson explained, and his associates that were specialists about our website, explained how we couldn't, it wasn't practical to do it at this time to make a horizontal tabs, but that we could have a vertical set of tabs. And in the future, when the websites are improved, we could get what we want, if indeed we all agree that that's what we want, a horizontal set of tabs, similar to the West Contra Costa CBOC. And so we talked about what's possible and what's not practical right now. We didn't really get into any other things about exactly what tabs do we want, what color should it be, and things like that. So,
but we did, Anna, go ahead, when you're done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Stacy.
Yes, and so I do want to definitely thank Mark for his showing up with his team and really be able to answer questions and clarify. And I think Mark, you want to share screen and show him what it is that we're thinking about doing, which I thought was very helpful. For me, I'm a visual learner, so when I understood that Marcus had concerns, but because I couldn't see what it is that what his vision was for the website, then I couldn't really put it together. And so when we were having the conversation, we had that something to look at to say, okay, we like this, we don't like that, and we want to make sure that we include this thing. We do have a list of things. We did come up with a list of buttons, if you will, that we thought would be useful to have on there, which is very similar to what's on the one that we looked at. Mark, do you have it?
So what I understood that is, Mark, do you have the time this evening to go through this, or do we have to table this for?
So the charrette dry run is started 4 minutes ago. So Etheria and I are running late for that. I do what I want to. I think I can do this in about 3 minutes. So
okay, 3 minutes.
Yes.
And then we'll let you go.
Great, thank you. So can you see the bond oversight committee?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what Marcus showed us, and this is a really nice website. But during our meeting, which included Aaron Harbour and John Freeman, who are the web content developers at the Peralta Community College District, they're part of the marketing team that report up into me. We explained that we're not able on our template to have the menu of links in this horizontal bar like their website. But what we can do is, if I go to parcel tax, oops. Go. So this is what we have for the parcel tax oversight committee. And so rather than having the horizontal links like here, we would replicate that, but with the vertical links here.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, the content that is available on the West Contra Costa Oversight Committee, we can find the correlated content for Peralta bond and put that up on this kind of site. So it would be Peralta.edu bond oversight committee, and that would be your homepage, as opposed to being a subset of Build Peralta, which I do think, to Mr. Crawley's point, it does make sense. The committee site would be on the Peralta district website, as opposed to the bond program promotion site.
In most colleges is under facilities, under their menu options. Yeah.
Right.
And that, it's really clear. It would be, in my mind, it's not really complicated. It would be our past annual reports, our membership, those would be the buttons, our agenda, our next, our meeting agenda, our calendar. I mean, it's not, we have that content. So it's not like, I'm not getting the impression, or I'm not supporting trying to create all this new content. I just use the content we have. It's just where it's positioned and how it's labeled, I think is what.
Yeah.
And the committee wanted to thank you a lot for this, and thank you, Marcus, for starting this conversation. Wanted to look at this and then bring it back to the full committee before we had Mark and his folks come back with the mock-up of how it might look, because that's some work. We don't want to ask them to do work that the committee is not in support of.
And to be candid, after our meeting, I met with John and Aaron, and I asked them for their estimate on how long it would take and their estimate was about a day. So we're not talking about a lot of really heavy lifting work. We're really just talking about taking the content from the Build Peralta site and spinning up a new page on the Peralta website.
I don't want you to spend a minute if this group didn't approve it. That's all I was saying. Said,
And I deeply appreciate that. Yes.
So I guess I'll ask the folks that worked on it, are you comfortable with this? And should we basically vote to go ahead with this right now?
Yes, that's why we brought it. We wanted committee support to have Mark move forward with his folks to bring us back a mock-up of how it would look, given the conversation we have, and any other input that the committee has here now. Would be great. We can agendize it for him to make the presentation. Right, Marcus? I'm not misspeaking, am I?
Yeah, I think that you're saying what I think, and that is that if they would do a mock-up of what we would be seeing, then we can fine tune it to what the verbiage would be on that website. And so as I'm just going to repeat one of my earlier complaints is that I don't want to see a bunch of little random buttons here and there where one clicks this and goes to a link someplace else. We
Rabbit
want
hole.
to have it more orderly than that.
So, well, in the interest of time for Etheria and Mark, John, can we vote on approving this then and recommend that it comes back to our next meeting?
So moved.
Okay, so Marcus, would you like to be the second?
Yes, I second that.
Okay, so Jeff, Canberra?
Are you voting? We can't hear you.
Yeah, Jeff? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Yeah?
Thumbs up for a yes.
Sorry, I had two other windows open and I couldn't find the Zoom screen.
That's okay. Well,
You're flunking the technology.
Yeah, apparently so. I have one question is that, this agenda item was a report only, didn't necessarily we were going to take action. I don't know that's a big point one way or the other. If the committee just came back next week or next meeting with a better mock-up of what we're looking at, which means we wouldn't necessarily have to vote on it. I always get a little concerned when we're voting on something that isn't in the agenda as an action item that we're voting on.
good point.
I hate to be the lawyer in the group that keeps doing this, but I think we can still
okay.
move forward, right? With
I
the
think
progress without a vote.
so. Okay.
That's
But
great.
I think that we do have to have some agreement that we would like to see the prototype. So in that, I think it's kind of a voting item, and because we want to move to the next level on this.
And we need the board support to do that. That's why we brought it back.
Yeah. So
The committee.
Yeah.
So I think to Jeff's point, you're saying it's, I guess you're doing it like a trustees would, that this is the first reading of it.
I
But
guess we all make our comments. We've all commented and say, yay, we really like what you've done so far. Which means then the committee would then take their action to bring it further forward. I don't think anybody is going to pitch a fit if we vote on it tonight anyway, so.
well, I'm voting yes on it too.
Well, we need a motion to vote on, I think, first.
Motion, yeah,
The
well,
motion's on the floor.
so the motion is on the floor from Stacy. I think it was seconded by Marcus, and it came to you, Jeff, and you, rightly so, played the rule book, but I think we could say we would like to move to having it come back to us in
so I will express an I vote.
yes, and yes, I will too. So there you go. So
There you go.
with that, I will say,
So-
is there in? Go ahead.
So therefore,
Yeah,
Let's just make it
Action
an
item
action
for
item
next time.
for
Yeah.
next
for the
meeting.
next, correct.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then the next item, well, before we move to the next item, is there any public that would like to comment on this?
Well, before you do that, I just want to say that our agenda is not organized with action items and reports. So if we're going to do that, if that's something that we need to do, then that's how the agenda should be organized, and it's not. I don't see that on any items. We just have reports. We don't have action items. And so I'm not disagreeing with you, Jeff, about that, but we don't have any action items on the agenda. That means that we would just get together and talk and not move forward with anything, basically.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, on our one action item that we have, that we're obligated to do is the annual report and present it.
exactly.
That's it. So, but I think that is a very good point, and this is not the first committee that I've been on that it has come up and actually has had to go back to legal. But I will tell you that Oakland Unified School District's legal came back and said we can make these action items. So for what it's worth, we could move to that type of agenda, I believe.
Yeah, point taken, and I can work with VC Smith to make that happen on the next month's agenda. At this point,
I know you have to go.
yeah, VC Smith and I need to leave, but I also want to acknowledge that committee member Yusef Herbert has joined the meeting. So
Oh, good.
you have
I see.
another
Yeah.
voting member that's on the committee. Thank you.
Yo, you're welcome. Thanks. Hey, everybody. All right.
And
Yeah,
I
thank-
also want to acknowledge that Lewis Quinlan, our newly elected trustee, has joined the meeting.
Lewis.
So congratulations,
Yeah,
Professor Quinlan. Really appreciate you being here.
that's terrific. All
Um,
right.
But with that, I need to run.
Yeah, I know. So, well, we're speeding through this evening. So just for the
Yeah,
benefit
you're
of all
good.
of you also. So anyway, so
Great.
we are
Thank you.
actually, thank you.
Thank you.
Aye,
Thank
yeah.
you all.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep. And so we are actually to item 7, and that's the next meeting agenda item recommendations. And we know that one is the website committee report from staff, which instead of Marcus Crawley, I would say it would be from staff. Would you all agree?
It's from the subcommittee, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Marcus?
I didn't quite catch what is being discussed right here. Can you
Well,
repeat it, please?
Well, on item 6 would be a next meeting agenda item. Okay. All right. And it would be a report from staff.
I'm thinking that the subcommittee is
report
going to
from-
meet
Report from
with this
staff about what?
about the website.
About the website.
Okay, yes.
I think the subcommittee is going to meet with the staff before they meet with the full committee, or no, Marcus?
Stacy, are you saying that you think that the subcommittee should meet again before our next meeting?
I am.
Okay, that works.
To
for me.
review, yeah, to review what this staff puts together and provide input before it comes to the committee, to the full
Mhm.
committee. That's what I think. So it would be a report from the subcommittee, of course, with staff support.
Okay, that sounds good. And how about 2 weeks from today? Yeah. And last time you preferred it to be in the morning. Is that still your preference?
Yes, it
So
is.
can I make a suggestion? So I
Mhm.
think given that the staff that's going to be working on this isn't here right now, that you propose some times amongst yourselves to Mark Johnson and whoever else he's going to be bringing, and hopefully it can be in 2 weeks, and hopefully it can
Probably
be in
more
the
like 3
morning.
weeks, because 2 weeks is Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So
So,
anyway, I think
How
that
about the 30th?
you need to amongst yourselves figure out when you're going to meet with
Yeah,
him.
well, I'm asking Marcus, is that work for him and Jeff?
Yeah.
The 30th, does that work for you guys?
Okay, Stacy, well, just like last time, I'll send out a Zoom link. And I will send it out in the next couple of days. And if there's any problems with the timing, just get back to me and we can
Yeah.
fix those
Sounds
problems.
good. The 30th at 10 o'clock, sounds good. See if staff. can do it.
That'll also go to the staff, right? So that
Right.
they make sure they're there as well.
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yes.
my, yeah, so.
Yeah, I understand.
We realize that, yes.
Yeah.
And if
That's
they
what
can't,
we-
they'll tell us.
That's what we did last
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
and it
Perfect.
worked out fine.
Perfect. All right. Any other items that you would like on the next meeting agenda?
Well, yes, I have an item. And I'm not sure if we have a policy on this or not, but I would like to see each item on our agenda to be a type of item, whether it's discussion, information, action, or whatever. Just so that we up our game, not that we're confused, but we can improve our administrative duties. Does that sound okay?
Other thoughts
Yes.
on that?
I definitely support that. And I think that kind of goes to information to the public. When they read the agenda, they have a little clearer idea. Oh, this is just going to be a report. This is going to be a vote. It will be an action item. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely support that.
So therefore, I think that it should be, we should put that as an agenda item that would create a policy for us. And so rather than it just be an item that we all agree on and it gets carried away in the future or dropped in the future, as the case may be, we'll really just have a policy so that it happens every time automatically. Okay,
So-
Yes, so we want to agendize it for next time as an action item about the
Yes.
format of our minutes and our agenda. Actually, I have some things I like some input on how we have our minutes as well. So we'll be both those things. How about that?
Okay.
Mhm.
So I agree. So sounds good.
Okay.
So I think the best at this point, since staff is not here, Mark or Etheria, that it would be good that we codified this in an email. So I will do that. But you know, I don't think I can get input from you all and forward it on. In other words, we can't all be on the email, or it's like a circle meeting.
That's fine.
so
Okay.
Andrea,
Any other
if you just
recommendations for the agenda?
send that out to us, I'll be happy to receive it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Any other topics?
Nope.
New business is item 8.
No.
So
Okay. So are we ready to adjourn the meeting then?
I think we are.
So moved.
Record time. So moved and seconded, I guess, by Marcus. And so we say goodnight to everyone and welcome to the Board of
Hey, Louis.
Trustees.
Good
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you
care.
all for being here.
Yep. Thank you. Take care.
Happy holidays.
Okay,
Yeah. Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.